Hey guys, LaRita from TXC Tells All is here. Thank you so much, LaRita. How are
Thank you,
you?
Judy, for having me on. I'm good. It's been an interesting week. A lot of
Yeah,
things have been happening.
yeah. Well, were you watching some of the Donna Adelson trial?
I saw, yes, I saw that they have a verdict. They had a verdict, and so I'm pretty sure. I think most people predicted that was going to happen, but it kind of finalized everything. And
Hmm.
I know her family obviously is not happy, but it is what it is. It's kind of like I think a lot of people saw it coming after her son got convicted. It was like, yeah, it was just a matter of time before she was going to go down too. So I don't know what's going to happen with her husband or her daughter, but yeah, interesting.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think it should be okay for me to play a snippet from Deep Dive True Crime. So
Okay,
you guys please feel free to support James's channel because he's the OG of the Dan Markel case,
okay.
covering it since like 2016 or something,
Mm,
back when nobody was covering Dan Markel's case.
mm,
So he has given me permission in general to play his stuff. So I'll share revenue with him
okay.
also. So, okay. Thank you for being here. I'm so sorry I was so late. It was just
Now
a weird,
you've done a good job of like you brought my attention to the matter. So I mean, he brought
yeah.
your attention, you brought my attention when you started covering it. So
Yeah.
it's good
Oh,
that.
and by the way, why don't you give a quick bio of yourself to
Oh,
people?
okay. So I'm LaRita. I have a channel on YouTube called TXC Tells All with another attorney, Tracy, and we cover all things personal finance, pre-law school and beyond, veterans benefits. We do lawyer reactions as well. So we started our channels similar time as Judy, and we kind of have connected since then. And we both are practicing attorneys on the channel, but basically giving it our personal and sometimes professional reactions to things. So thanks, Judy, for having me on your channel,
Yeah.
and sometimes overlap. You'll see an overlap. So if you haven't followed us on YouTube, feel free to hop over to our channel, TXC Tells All. And we also are streaming, double streaming. So for my TXC Tells All viewers, this is Judy, and you can check out her channel. She has a lot of reaction videos to kind of um, trending topics.
Yeah. And originally both of us were covering the legal profession and trying to give, information, talk about law school and stuff. But then after a while, I just realized people don't care that much about talking to lawyers about their careers and how they got into their specialties and stuff. And I
Mm-hmm.
kind of stumbled onto the Dan Markel case because
Okay.
I was interviewing this attorney that I know, Steve Epstein, who
Mm-hmm.
was writing a book about this case. It's called
Okay.
Extreme Punishment. So that's when my channel just suddenly took off.
Okay.
So it was a
Okay.
big surprise.
You
Yeah.
found your
So,
niche. You found your niche.
yeah, you got to
Sometimes
find your niche.
it found
Yeah.
you. I get you can say it found you because that's what usually happens. You can put a lot of things out, and your viewers are going to tell you what they want to see from you. So they
Yeah.
told you what they want to see.
That's right, because it's about what the viewers want, not what you just want to throw
Right.
out there. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So we'll watch a little bit of this and
Okay.
maybe Dan's father's victim impact statement.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Is the video muted or is it or turned down?
You know what? I think they just didn't have sound at first.
Oh, okay.
That's why you don't hear anything. I'm playing it at faster speed.
Okay.
That was Karen Cyphers. There's Pat Sanford, detectives, Jason Newland. There's Patty Wilson from Patty's Playhouse. Harvey Adelson, her husband, is sitting in the front row behind her.
Okay.
He's been there the whole time. He's 81. There's Phil and Ruth Markel and Shelley, Dan's sister and parents.
And you had his mom on here in your channel before a few
Yeah,
times.
she's a great person, so wonderful. Yeah. And there's Donna looking like she's so grandmotherly, wearing her Mr. Rogers cardigan.
Yeah.
Kind, soft grandmother.
I mean, for her lawyers, it's good that her lawyers advise her to have a certain look to her, right? Because that's your job as a lawyer. I mean, you're representing somebody, you want to make sure they look as, as innocent as possible if that's what you're going for. So I guess their attorneys are doing their job, even though, what they had to work with was very little.
Yeah, that's right. It was a really tough case. So the defense did what they could, but there was so much circumstantial evidence.
I want to make sure everyone understands whatever the verdict will be in the case. I do not want there to be any gesturing or anyone making any movements that you either agree or disagree with the verdict. We are going to respect what the jury's decision is, and we are not going to subject them to any displays of emotion, whether it be from the gallery or
Judge Stephen
if anyone believes they are not capable of following this instruction, I ask you to step outside at this time. Mrs. Adelson also as well, once the verdict is read, again, I'm going to advise you, do not have any displays of emotion as best you can. You are in control of yourself. Do you understand?
Didn't you do a skit with her in it? She wasn't looking like that when you did the skit.
Thanks for watching my silly comedic skits then.
That was a while ago. But yeah, she's trying to have a different look now.
Yeah.
This isn't just a wallet, it's a rare find. There's something different about owning something almost nobody else has. That's why when Ridge dropped...
There's Phil Markel.
Please remain seated when the jurors come in this particular time.
And Ruth Markel. There's John Steinbeck behind Phil Markel. And there's Patty, who is my friend and roommate, who's now standing right next to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's here. She used to work for Harvey Adelson back in the 1980s.
Oh, wow.
As a dental hygienist. There's Harvey. He's a retired dentist.
Mm-hmm.
Behind him is Rebecca and Patty Wilson. They're both local people. And Julia Cheney from Court TV, James, mentor lawyer, who runs this channel, Deep Dive True Crime.
If the jury foreperson could please rise. Has the jury reached a unanimous verdict?
Yeah.
If you please can hand the verdict form to the bailiff. Having reviewed the verdict form, it is in its proper order. At this time, I will publish the verdict. We, the jury, find as follows as the count one of the indictment, first-degree murder. The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder.
He told her
Mrs.
not
Adelson,
to
control yourself.
He already warned her, but I guess it
Count
wasn't
two.
fun.
We, the jury, find as follows as the count two of the indictment, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. The defendant is guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. Count three. We, the jury, find as follows as the count three of the indictment, solicitation to commit first-degree murder. The defendant is guilty of solicitation to commit first-degree murder. And it is signed and dated by the foreperson. One moment. Members of the jury, the bailiff will escort you to the jury room.
Wow, she's crying really loudly.
Mrs. Adelson, while this was not the outcome I'm sure that you desired, there will not be any further outbursts in front of the jury. If you cannot control yourself, I am going to have to determine if you'll be removed from the remainder of this process.
Yes,
Do you
that was
understand
Karen
what I'm saying to
Cyphers.
you? Do you need a moment to collect yourself? Before the jurors are brought back in, we will take a brief 2-minute break. Please give her tissues if she needs them. When the jurors are brought back into the room, does the defense wish to have the jurors polled before they are discharged?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very well.
So they usually poll them to make sure that it really was a unanimous verdict for those of you watching. Just make sure there was no confusion in what was written down on the paper and what was published to the court.
Yeah, that's right. Her son, Charlie, was convicted back in November 2023. And the judge read out the jurors' last names, which I thought was interesting because I thought they should be anonymous.
Please
Right.
go back on the jurors so we
People
can conclude
don't
that
know their
portion of the
names.
trial.
Well, I know some jurors come in, they do press appearances after it's all over. So that gives them opportunity now that it's all done. But in this kind of high profile case, it does make it, might be some privacy concerns or safety concerns.
Yeah, especially given that, she's accused of also tampering with potential witnesses and trying to bribe one of her jail friends to lie for her.
She's pulling out all the stops.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe I'll just skip ahead because I don't want to
Members of the
totally
jury,
rip
before
off
I
his
discharge you
content.
for this evening, I am briefly going to poll you concerning whether your verdict is unanimous at the request of one of the parties. When you hear your last name,
deserved murder through her actions. While no trial or verdict can ever heal the profound wounds caused by Dan's murder, justice must be served. I respectfully ask the court to impose the maximum sentence on Donna Adelson. Her lack of cooperation and remorse throughout the case demands justice, the justice that Dan's life and memory fully deserve. We are immensely grateful to the court for its careful and compassionate deliberation. Respectively, Ruth Markel.
thank you, Ms. Markel. Are there any other victim impact statements this evening?
One more.
His mom was very composed in her victim impact statement.
Yeah.
It's been years, but still considered.
Please could tell us your name for the record.
Good evening. My name is Phil Markel. I'm Danny's father. Judge Everett, I appreciate the opportunity to speak about the impact of Donna Adelson's actions on my families and the families of so many others. While this victim impact statement is addressed to you, Your Honor, it is also intended for the Adelson family, Harvey, Charlie, Wendy, and particularly Donna. I would like them to understand and reflect on the deep and irreparable damage they have caused. The pain that they have caused my family is obvious and permanent, but they have also caused lifelong harm to their own immediate family and so many other families and children around. Donna's selfishness, cruelty, and complete disrespect for human life, along with that of her co-conspirators, have left families forever broken. Louis Rivera, his children have no father. Catherine Magbanoa and Sigfredo Garcia, their children have no parents. Charlie Adelson, his son, Roman, has no father. Rob Adelson and his wife and their 2 children have lost their uncle and grandparents. Shelley and Ian, my daughter, their 3 children, my grandchildren, are left without an uncle and are separated from.
Are we your first criers?
Actions have left me, Ruth, and Shelley without our Danny, and Ben and Lincoln without their father. For anyone to commit such a cold-blooded, unprovoked act of murder is horrific. For Donna, someone who claims to care so much about Ben and Lincoln, her sunshines, her actions are beyond comprehension. She has harmed forever the people she claims to have loved. In the Jewish custom, we have an expression to always wish others to live to 120 years of age. For Donna, I wish her to live to 120, alone in her jail cell. I wish that every day of her remaining days, she thinks about the harm she has caused to so many, especially those 2 boys she claims to have loved so much. For these reasons, Your Honor, I ask the court sentence Donna Adelson to the maximum possible sentence. And my only short question to Donna, was it worth it? Respectfully, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Markel. Are there any other matters that the court needs to address this evening, Ms. Copeland? With the PSI being
Okay, so I don't know if it feels kind of strange now to go backwards and react to something else from the trial, but what do you feel like doing? I don't know how much time you have today.
I can do maybe a few, maybe 10 more minutes for me tonight, but I did notice that I appreciated the father and the mother's, I guess, statements and showing how like it impacted everybody, and just like I don't think she realized how big it was going to get out of control. But this is an example, and I think you do some family law, or you've done family law before, just like how big sometimes when your hate for somebody is bigger than your love for your grandchildren, for your daughter. She didn't realize the impact it was going to have for all these people. And that's what happens in family law a lot. And that's why I didn't want to practice family law, because the emotions are so high. You get so, you lose focus on what's really important. And she took it to a whole nother level. But I know in family law that you see that a lot. And obviously it doesn't always come to murder, but sometimes you lose focus. And I think that's a hard job to kind of get your clients, like, the children, the grandchildren are the focus here, not you guys, the adults who can try to figure this out. The children are going to be the victims of it and losing
How many years between you and Charlie?
3 years.
Parents and their uncle and all the people that they said were impacted by it. So,
yeah, that's right. So, what do you think about this whole case in general? Because it's taken 11 years, more than 11 years after Professor Markel was murdered until, they start reaching the rich, privileged people that were behind his murder.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's what they thought. They were going to be out of reach. Like, they come from white collar dentists, a family of dentists have, white collar money, and they thought they were untouchable. And I couldn't believe when you started to kind of break the case down, when you originally started covering this, and I was like, wait, these are not like what you would think of your typical criminals, right? Like these, and that's what they called them people that had some, let's say, criminal history, but it didn't start out as that way. And I'm just like, how do we get here? And I think that's what they thought, that people would never suspect them, the dentist, the grill, like they had the money to fund all these things, right? And just to see the progress. And I saw the what's the son's name?
Which one? Rob?
Got convicted.
Oh, the one that got convicted is Charlie. He's like a total sleazeball, but he's so full of himself.
He looked one way when it all started, and you just saw, I guess, I don't know, the stress of or not being able to maintain his Botox and his hair implants. Botox. All that. He just started to wilt away, and I'm just like, that's the same guy? That's like the dentist guy? So, I mean, it showed, like physically showed on him for sure. I mean, the mom was an older lady anyway, but for her son, like it aged him considerably when this all happened.
Well, the mom has aged considerably too, because when she was first arrested, like she looked like she could be like a size 2 or 4, and she still had, like she had Botox properly, and I heard she had like a nose job and a chin job and facelifts and stuff, and nice dyed blonde hair and stuff. But then within just like a year in jail, they said she gained more than a third of her weight, and she just looked like she had aged 10, 15 years in jail.
That'll do it for you. That'll motivate me not to want to do anything. I don't want to go to jail.
I don't want to go to jail
either. Made for all that.
Let's not try to conspire to murder people.
Right.
And hitmen.
Right.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. I mean, that's what happens. I even watched, this is like not anything to do with this, but the Chrisleys, when they got released from jail, and they had a similar thing, like they looked a certain way and they can't maintain certain things, and then you get out of jail, they rushed to the Botox, they rushed to get the hair colored and everything before they came back on their show. So I mean, being in jail and having not the creature comforts that you're used to, that's part of the punishment as well, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, also when Donna was trying to be put on house arrest, she wanted bail or bond. She wanted released to house arrest, and she had all these complaints, like the mattress was too thin, so it was hurting her back, and she didn't like the food. It was all a bunch of carbs, like spaghetti and mashed potatoes and cornbread, and there's not enough protein. And then she claimed that she was like, that some inmate rubbed her from the top of her buttocks up to the back of her neck while she was showering. And
that very may well have happened. Not to say that prisoners don't have rights. I did a little portion of prisoners' rights stuff. Not to say that prisoners don't have any rights, but it's not there to give you comfort. That's not the purpose of sitting there waiting for your turn. And obviously, you're supposed to be presumed innocent until proven guilty, right? But the prison and taxpayers' dollars are not meant to fund you to have Club Med, right? The idea is just to keep you with your basic necessities, housing, food, things to keep you alive so that you can go to court and have your day in court. So, I mean, this is not like, oh, we need a mattress topper because the mattress is too, like, this is not what it's going to be uncomfortable. And sometimes there are some people that are in prison that are innocent. I will acknowledge that, right? But I think in this case, she wasn't one of those people. And so I have less sympathy for that. But I won't say that there are innocent people sitting in jail waiting for their turn to prove that, they're innocent. So.
Yeah. Well, did you hear about how there were a couple of inmates who testified against her? First Lady Patricia said that Donna told her she did it, but she didn't think it would go that far. And then the second person, Drina, she said that Donna wanted her to lie for her, and she promised to give her a grand piano, $10,000. What else was she supposed to get? Oh, prescription drugs if she wanted it from Charlie's former roommate. So I was like, that's so sketchy to offer a drug addict more drugs.
I don't see with that. I'm like, when you're in prison too, and you call somebody who's like another prisoner as a character would say this person is saying things. I mean, I think the reason why criminals get caught is because some of them are not smart, right?
Yes.
And if she's that dumb to say this to her prison mates, I mean, she deserved the nail in the coffin that she had, because who does that? Like, that's almost like TV worthy. You see that on TV? Oh, the jailhouse snitch came in and testified. Like, you're making silly mistakes at this point now. Like, are you that? But perhaps her mental state had been compromised and she wasn't thinking her best. But I mean, like I said, had she been smarter, she wouldn't got caught. So it's good that sometimes criminals are not that smart. Because
exactly.
She made some mistakes somewhere along the line that the lines end up tracing back to her, and that's how she ended up in the position she's in now. So
yeah. Well, also did you hear about the, what is it called, the jail transport video? I'll give a shout out. I'm not gonna play most of it, but at least show some of it. But there's a fellow YouTuber friend, Tanika's 2 Cents, who managed to request the actual video of Charlie being transported back to Leon County, because both the state as well as the defense had him on the witness list. So he was sent to South Dakota prison because the stupid idiot, during his trial, he kept blaming it on the Latin Kings gang people who extorted him. So of course, once he wound up in prison, he had like a target on his back. So he had to be transported and moved to a different prison far away to get away from the gang members. So yeah,
he'll learn. He'll learn one way or another.
Yeah, so we'll just play a snippet here. Thank you, Tanika's 2 Cents, and please subscribe to her channel also here.
Little fist bump. And he's got his Wendy's. He's about to shut down. So see, here's this, like, it's a small checkered print. In the photo that Joel had, the jacket, he didn't have his arms through the sleeves. He just had it over him, like going through security at airport or going through. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so if people want to see the actual full video, you can see it on Tanika's 2 Cents. She's been covering this case as well as the Sarah Boone case and some other true crime cases. But this is so sad. Like, he's like so happy to get some Wendy's chicken nuggets with barbecue sauce. And somebody said they got him a biggie meal. So have you ever had a biggie meal?
Yeah, back in the day.
Well, I mean, this is so sad because he had such a rich, privileged life. He made, close to $1 million or more per year. He was a traveling periodontist who also had real estate and, lots of young women and, lived on the water, had a boat, had a go-kart, bunch of cars, Ferrari, living the high life.
And that's what happens. Like, you don't realize, like, this is when you got so much to lose, you don't do stuff like this. I mean, there was other options. This is all for his sister, and his sister is the one that's not in jail.
Yeah, exactly. People think that she is going to get arrested next. So I'm looking forward to that. I do feel that she is going to be arrested sometime soon.
The hammer's coming down. I mean, I guess they're getting more and more. They're building their cases as they're going along. So now that they got this, they're like, okay, maybe we have enough to charge her now, and we didn't before. So it'll be sad for the kids, and then they lost both of their parents. But I mean, the situation is sad all around. So
yeah,
there are consequences for actions, and like I said, in family law, people make unwise choices, not murder, but in this case, they did. And her family was all in her business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. Did you ever do criminal defense or criminal law?
I did criminal law when I was clerking. I was on the criminal docket for 2 years. Yeah, so I got a little taste of it. No, that was enough.
Oh, well, what kind of cases do you recall working on?
Well, I was in DC, so we had a few high profile cases. Trying to think of, I had one with my judge was on the felony and misdemeanor calendar. And then I dealt with like post-conviction. So we had post-conviction hearings where they were challenging whether they already got convicted. They were challenging whether they were supposed to, there was like ineffective assistance of counsel, things of that nature. And we had a case where this guy got convicted, went away for 30 years for murder, but then they were saying like the witness was bribed. So we had to bring back the witness and actually see if there was information to say like this wasn't the correct witness and things of that nature. So yeah, it can get real tricky. Like when somebody's liberty is at stake, you kind of want to make sure you got it right? And I thought my judge was a pretty fair judge. He wanted to make sure that things was correct and not just summarily dismiss it because, anytime you get convicted, you're going to appeal it. If you haven't got a lawyer, you're going to want to try to appeal it, right? So we dealt with some post-conviction things from his felony calendar and then just the quick misdemeanors. A lot of it was like drug cases at that time. Not fentanyl, I forget. PCP was a big thing in DC at that time, and people were getting and marijuana. And my judge was like, it's not legal here, so stop doing it or do a better job of not getting caught. So it was kind of like the cases that went in quickly, but we had a few felony cases that he had left over in his docket as well. So, but I mean, it kept things busy, and I was just like, yeah, that's enough. Even walking through the hallways, they like, hey, are you a lawyer? I'm not your lawyer.
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes people ask you that if you're walking around wearing
just in the hallways. They're looking for somebody they're like, you look like you can represent. No, but
like, I'm not here to be your free attorney. Yeah. Well, what years were you in DC?
I was there from 2011 to 13.
Okay. Wow, you're young. Okay, I kept thinking, because I was in DC from 96 until 2001.
Okay.
But I've definitely been to DC Superior Court a bunch of times because back when I was in law school, I interned for the Public Defender Service, the DC.
Right. Yeah, that's a popular one.
Yeah, it was a great internship. I really enjoyed it. Learned a lot.
Yeah,
also,
they give you a lot of business there. I mean, you have a lot.
Yeah, a lot of crime.
For a if you want to be a litigator, you get a lot of hands-on experience right away, and they have the benefit of in DC is because it's quasi-state. You have federal and state kind of things going on at the same time. So we kind of were in that position where the DC Superior Court was here, but then the DC Federal Court was right across the street. And, you know, you see some interlap with certain things they might be charged in the state and federal court. So, I liked my time there. It got me like a lot of experience. So it made me realize I was not going to practice criminal law.
Yeah, same here. Because, you know, at first, you know, when you're young and idealistic, I guess it's like, yeah, I'm going to go save the people from government oppression. And, you know, you see these like movies where people are, you know, unjustly accused of crimes and they didn't commit it. And then they finally get exonerated and stuff. So it's like, yeah, I want to do that. But then once you're in the trenches, it is really tough work. I mean, hats off, you know, to those people who can do criminal defense, but I think I probably would have burned out within a couple of years. But it's great experience, though.
Yeah, it is. I know a few people that have been at PDS and then they've gone on to private practice thereafter, and they were able to get in private practice because of all their hands-on experience at PDS. And so, I mean, now they're in private practice and they're making, because I mean, you don't get paid a lot for being PDS, but you get a lot of experience, and that's a valuable experience to market yourself for something else. So they kind of more than lateral their way into the private sector and moved on up and moved away. So, but they put their time in, and everybody's entitled to an attorney, right? Whether you're being accused of something, you're entitled to an attorney. Whether you're guilty or innocent, you're entitled to an attorney. And it's the government's job to prove that you did it, not your job. And you can be quiet and not say anything and just say, hey, the government did not prove their case. Or you can say, hey, I want to have my time in court. For some people, that is not a good thing. They should have just kept their mouth shut. So, but for some people, they're like, we're going to rest in the fact that the government didn't do their job in proving that we are guilty. So it just depends. So,
yeah. Okay. Well, do you have time to react a little bit to Rob Adelson's testimony?
Okay. And and then that'll be the last thing I do.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Thank you. I know
the chat has been busy.
Yeah. Sorry. I know I switched the time on you because of this verdict thing. So we'll just play a tiny bit of this. Okay. Maybe faster speed. Yeah. 1.25. It's good. Okay. Thanks again to Deep Dive True Crime.
Between Charlie and I.
And then who's the youngest then is Wendy?
Yes.
And how many years between Charlie and Wendy?
3 years.
Okay. When you were 18, did you move out of the Coral Springs house?
Yes, when I went to college.
Okay. And did you go to college at University of Florida?
I went to Tulane.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Did you live in Gainesville at some point?
I did, yes.
Okay, thank you. So after you went to college at Tulane and then went on to med school, went on to residency, throughout those years, did you continue to talk to your parents and your siblings on a regular basis?
Yes.
And would you see them a couple of times a year?
Yes.
When you were in school, would you go home for the summer?
Yes.
Based on your personal observations throughout your life of your parents and of your siblings, who's the leader in the family? Who tends to run the show?
I think my mom.
Okay, so Donna Adelson?
Yes.
Would you describe Donna Adelson's personality as being more controlling or more laid back?
I think more on the controlling side.
What about, is she kind of a more assertive person or a more passive person?
More assertive.
What about your dad, Harvey Adelson? What's his personality like?
I think he's more passive, more go with the flow.
Okay. So they're kind of opposites in that way a bit?
Yeah.
Could we use your house to trial our 24-hour bathroom upgrade system? We're looking for homeowners.
When you and your siblings were growing up, was Donna Adelson a very involved parent?
Yes.
And when I say involved, as far as with your life and with your friends and with school and with that type of thing?
Absolutely.
Did she have certain fixed ideas throughout your life of certain things she wanted to happen in you and your siblings' life?
Yes, absolutely.
Was it acceptable if you decided to not do those certain things that she was fixated that she wanted you to do? Was that acceptable to her or no?
No. I think she had certain sort of rigid, fixed ideas or impressions for what she wanted for us. And if you went along with that, things were fine. If you didn't, things were not fine.
Did she have strong opinions about who you all married and what you all did for a living and those types of things?
Yes.
And you're obviously a doctor. Was that an acceptable profession to her?
No, that was okay.
Okay. And was that one of the reasons you became a doctor?
Yes.
Okay. How involved was Donna in yours, Charlie, and Wendy Adelson's life after you grew up, became adults, and had kids of your own?
I think still involved.
Was she more involved with your life, Charlie's life, or Wendy's life, would you say?
You're probably more involved with Wendy and probably to a lesser degree with Charlie.
Okay. And then would you be she's the least involved with your life out of the three?
Yeah, probably because I was older, but sure, I agree.
Okay, so you're the oldest child. You're out of the house before the other two.
Yep.
Okay, and then you also lived other places after you went to college that she had with the three of yours lives, or was it more of like a micromanaging as you saw it?
I think it was certainly between over involved and controlling. It probably lended itself more toward controlling, but there's in various realms, more or less. But I think certainly that was the tension.
Okay, so a little more on the controlling side.
Yes.
And in your professions, your jobs.
Yes.
Was it Charlie who always needed more attention than the other two children?
I think so, yes.
When did Wendy's life start becoming one that she needed to pay or give more attention to?
I think when she had some trouble, but I think around that time she had two young children. I think that was when she became more involved, and I was, at that point living, pretty good distance away.
Okay. Were you living in Philadelphia at the time?
Yeah, but first in Philly and then in New York, where we lived now.
Okay. And so Charlie always got a lot of attention, and then Donna also started giving her attention also to Wendy's life once Wendy starts going through the separation or divorce.
Yeah.
Actions with Donna Adelson through your whole life growing up and even as an adult. Would you describe her as someone who's mentally sharp, thinking about things from all angles, or is she someone who's a little more gullible? Yes, sir.
Okay, I know you have to get going. So you have any comments on what you've seen of this?
I mean, this just seems like it's building a case for the typical immigrant family, right? Asian families, African families, they have very high expectations of their children. Their children go on to be doctors, lawyers. I don't think any of them become murderers.
Most of them
they
don't.
Just
No.
because you come from a family who has like strict parents and has high expectations of their children, I don't think that is necessarily a translation for it's going to end up with the murder scene. I mean, a murder consequence of it. But I mean, I'm sure she was going to get to a further point about it. But I just thought that was interesting that a lot of things she was saying, like, yes, any immigrant family. I mean, things.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
that doesn't mean they're going to be, murderers.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they're immigrants, but come to think of it, I feel like maybe Harvey's grandparents immigrated. I mean, because I did do sort of like deep diving, and I think Harvey's parents were from Russia or Belarus or something. Either his parents or his grandparents were. And I'm sure, since they're Jewish, that probably Donna's parents or grandparents also came from Europe, very high standards for their kids. So that's why one of their old family friends called them a 5-star family. Wonderful people. The kids were well behaved. Donna kept the nice, clean house and ran a show. Harvey worked hard as a dentist to build their fortunes. So, and then they threw it all away because they could solve all their problems.
Yeah, and I think they thought they were above the law. I'm just like I said, I think that I would think that you would think, don't risk it all. You have too much to lose to get into those kind of things. And I guess they didn't think that they didn't think about all they had to lose for it. So they unfortunately had this demise.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
guys, thanks for
I'll
having me
let
on,
you
Judy.
go.
Thank
I'll
you to everybody in the chat. You guys have been busy in the chat. So we'll have to connect again soon, maybe on a different topic. So thank you guys.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much. It's great to see you again. Take care. Okay. Bye. Okay. I'm still here. I'm still here for maybe say like 10 minutes. Let me see if Patty feels like getting on. I mean, we're both sort of in our pajamas now, and it's been such a long day, man. Plus I was running like crazy to get to the courthouse as as soon as they said the verdict was in. But by the time, I got there, and of course, all the courthouse staff has gone. So doors were all locked and I couldn't be there in person. So I was just watching live on my cell phone through Deep Dive True Crime. So hold on, let me see what Patty is up to. All righty, Patty's gonna get better dressed, and then this is so funny. It's almost like being in college again, right? Like having a roommate, except I didn't really like my roommates in college. Yeah. So anyway, Patty's gonna join me in a couple of minutes. So let's just continue watching this, and I will give some great commentary.
No, I don't think she would just snap to and do what someone told her to.
Okay. Is she the type of person who's going to have some questions if you ask her?
Yes.
Something?
I think she would definitely have some questions.
Okay.
All right, come with me. I'm going to show you why oats overnight is your new favorite breakfast. It all starts with high quality ingredients.
How did Donna Adelson feel about this marriage?
He was very positive about him.
Okay. So he was somebody she approved of.
Yes.
All right. And how did that change as Wendy and Danny's relationship soured? They ended up moving towards divorce.
So I really only heard anything bad about Danny after Wendy moved out. I didn't hear anything bad about him prior to that. Yes.
I mean, when you say hearing bad things about him, like from her? From Donna Adelson?
Yes.
Okay. And how did Donna Adelson feel about Dan Markel in 2014?
She hated him.
Would this come from your knowledge of that? Did you observe that Wendy played a bit of a damsel in distress, in your opinion, in the divorce?
Yes, I think that's a good way to describe it.
Did Donna Adelson ever talk to you about Wendy Adelson and Dan Markel's divorce?
I apologize to Donna Adelson. I apologize. Can I hear the question again?
Did Donna Adelson ever talk to you about Wendy and Dan Markel's divorce?
Some. I mean, the phrase that sticks in my head is with, all the various motions. I remember that phrase. I remember there being a lot of, court motions back and forth. But I remember that phrase. I remember, some complaints about like very long either mediation or depositions that Wendy had to endure.
Okay, so this is Donna saying Wendy's having.
Okay, Patty is ready to make her debut, or not really debut because you've been on again. So anyway, Rob Adelson, I thought, was such a great witness. So thank you, Dr. Adelson, for being so brave and becoming sort of like friends to the Markels, keeping in touch with them, because this is just such a horrible tragedy that has torn apart families. And, I'm sure the Markels are so touched that he broke the ranks of his crazy, controlling, murderous family and was willing to tell the truth. So he's so brave. Here, so let me have Patty come over here, and she'll just go ahead and tell us how the day went for her and how she felt when she heard the verdict. Okay, so I'll probably remove this microphone and stuff. So. Okay, you want to sit down? Yeah. Okay, so Patty, tell us how your day went and how you're feeling. How'd you feel?
Oh, it was well. It's very emotional to me, but it was as far as checking off something on my bucket list, it was fascinating to attend a murder trial in person. I learned a lot. I I don't know. It was an experience. Now there's, you can't hear as well and whatever, but just being there, you can watch the jury. You can look anywhere you want to put your eyes. I kept looking at Harvey and Donna, and when you watch from home, maybe you can hear better, but you can't look wherever you want. And you definitely can't see the jury. So I'm just still kind of like, but how the day went. Well, Donna didn't testify. She didn't change her mind. I thought she might testify in the morning. Georgia's opening argument. Did I say the right thing? Closing argument?
Closing argument.
But then there's a rebuttal argument.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rebuttal.
Her closing argument was brilliant. It was really impressive. This case only gets more and more complicated in layers. It's like an onion, more and more layers. And then we had this young jury. It was hard to read them. And it was hard to know. And then, after the trial, was it a lot of people on court TV or somewhere were all saying Georgia didn't prove it. She's not going to get. And then I started to get really nervous, and I started asking all the peeps in our community, and they were all like, no, she's guilty. So it was a real relief. And I don't know that they're on YouTube yet. I've looked, and I don't see anybody's posted the victim impact statements. I don't know if they're up there or not.
No, it's on TikTok True Crime.
Is it? Okay.
Ruth and Phil read their statements.
Yeah,
but what about the press conference? I don't know. I haven't checked yet.
The press conference, I couldn't videotape. It was packed, and it was in a crowded room, and I had tall men in front of me, including Carl. Really tall.
That's too bad.
Georgia came out, everybody erupted in cheers and clapping for quite a while. And then, she took questions, and they asked why didn't Rob testify in Charlie's trial? And she said she didn't want to do that to him unless she felt she really needed him, and she felt she did this time. When we asked about, are you going to arrest Wendy? She said, I can't remember what she said. And then someone else said, so in other words, we should stay tuned. And she said, yeah, stay tuned. So
okay, she said stay tuned again.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I think Phil and Ruth probably are a little more in the know from the prosecution or whatever, because I noticed also Phil ended his impact statement with saying towards the end, he said, I'm not going to be completely happy until everybody involved has been held accountable. And who else is there? There's Wendy and Harvey, but at least Wendy for sure.
Yeah.
So it was something. Now I don't know if I bet you the court camera didn't show this. After Phil gave his impact statement, when he turned around to walk back to his seat, he gave Donna a dirty look. She didn't look at him. Then he's walking towards Harvey. I swear he had smoke coming out of his ears. This was a man looking at a man. You took my son from our whole family.
Yeah.
And it was such a, I could just feel it, the way he looked at him. Harvey didn't dare look back, though. He didn't look. Harvey was very stoic. I thought he'd have an outburst. When Charlie was convicted, they say, they had said he was on the floor, banging his head, crying like a baby, like whatever. I don't know how he stayed so stoic, but honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the word we can't say that starts with S.
He unalived himself.
I wouldn't be surprised. What does he have left? She'll never be a free woman again, ever. Today in Leon County Courthouse was her last day in a free atmosphere, a building.
Yeah.
And the lady next to me was saying, watch them put the cuffs on, watch them put the cuffs on. And I didn't know, and there it goes. And we jumped up, and it was like, I don't know, it's like they smack them on click, and she screamed again when she got her cuffs on.
Screamed again?
Well, she just hollered out, like not for this scream, but when they first read the first guilty verdict, she really, Carl said she shrieked. I think it was more like a yelp. You guys probably saw that, right? On the video?
Yes.
You saw that. So, the judge had to clear the courtroom and tell her she had to control herself or leave.
So, hey, Mona had a question. She said, did you know that it was going to Could you tell the jurors had voted guilty?
Yes.
Really?
I want to tell you something I heard, and maybe it's not always true, but I've heard the jury will not look the person in the eye when they enter the room.
Yeah, that's what happened to Charlie.
When they entered the room, every single juror was looking down towards their shoes, all the way to their seat. And I leaned over to the lady next to me and I whispered, and she's like, shh, because they're like really strict in there. You can't, But when I saw that with their eyes, I thought, yep. Yep.
Yeah. So what were you doing for the last 2.5 to 3 hours when you're just sitting down?
I'm like a fidgety person anyway. It's hard to sit still. But one thing I did was I interviewed this guy who breeds butterflies in LA or somewhere in California. Oh. I happened to meet him. He's there. He also follows this case, but his name is Dave, but he goes by Jimmy McNutty.
The Asian guy.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that.
He raises butterflies and all, and so I interviewed him so that I could show it to my grandchildren because he has a YouTube site, and I thought, how cool! I'm going to show my grandkids these butterflies, and then they're going to get to see the actual guy. He's a high to my name, so I know I'm one of those grandmas. But anyway. I don't know, what was the question?
Oh, the question was, what were you doing during those hours that you're just waiting?
Yes, that was another thing I did. I actually got up and I walked around. I went and I did a little interview. I did a little tour of what a courthouse is for my grandchildren. Sorry about that, but I'm like, and this is the media room. This is blah blah blah. This, I just made that little video, and in the end, it was too long. It won't text, so I'll just show it to him in person, like when I go. But what else? James, mentor lawyer, ordered 4 huge. I never saw that big pizzas for the media room, and the defense attorneys went in there. They went in there and pizza, and people were complaining. And John Steinbeck said, "We're not going to let Harvey have any." Who comes over 2 minutes later? Harvey.
Harvey took some of mentor lawyers.
Harvey went in the meeting, and and I videotaped him in there. I sent it to you. Did you? Yeah.
Okay, this will be happy.
It's really short because I knew I was going to get caught, but you can videotape in public. In a public place, you can videotape, right?
Yes.
You just couldn't in the courtroom.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, and I had gotten.
Harvey was so greedy that he went in and got some pizza.
Yeah, he did.
Jeez.
Yep.
Okay.
I got it on video too. Judy has it on video.
Okay, well, thank you.
You want to sit down? You want to sit down again?
No, because we want to hear from
you. Do you guys have any questions?
Okay, thank you, Lazy Law News Network. I know he made a short mocking me, pretending like I was feeding Harvey or massaging his head. Okay. Yeah. Let's not make jokes about Oriental massage parlors here. Okay. But thank you for the generous $1.99 donation. I bet I can get you a great breakfast for that. It's Vince.
Vince.
That's his other channel.
$2.
Yeah. $1.99.
Oh.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for your generous.
Is Vince watching now?
I guess so.
Yeah, Vince, I took some videos for you because you asked.
Great. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I was really disappointed when I got there and I was like, shoot, the whole building's locked. I walked around the whole place and I was like, gee, somebody could come out and mug me. I'm just by myself out here. It's dark, but I stayed out there for quite a while. Okay. So let's see. Georgia said in her closing, justice will be done when all the conspirators are held responsible. That's right. It kind of foreshadows that she's
I think it does.
Done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Yes.
And I heard Wendy's in Denver. Somebody said she's in Denver, Colorado. So
yeah, because Ruth Markel or Phil Markel mentioned that she's moved to kids once again.
Yeah.
So that's terrible for the kids. They're in high school. That's the worst time to move to a totally new state and switch.
Absolutely. Those teen years can be hard
enough. All your
enough.
friends are gone. Yeah, it's terrible. So what is it? Carl had a soda can in court. Yeah, that should be
did.
allowed.
He was. I saw him. He sat. Yeah, he walked past me and he was in front of me at that point. And right away I saw that Coke can. I'm like, oh, Carl.
Yeah, you're not supposed to. An attorney should know better. You'll get
Yeah.
scolded. You can't be bringing soda and food inside
An
the
open
courtroom.
can, yeah.
Yeah.
You can bring water in a bottle with a lid, but nothing else.
Oh, Phil said some sort of 120 years comment. Yes, like a Jewish saying that you usually wish that people would
I think
live
I
to
think
be
Ruth said that.
Oh,
I
okay.
think. I might be wrong.
I think it was Phil.
Okay, maybe it was.
Mona said Phil. Yeah.
Okay, Mona.
Marv threw his own sons away along with Phil's. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yes,
yeah.
he did.
So yeah, it's a real
Yeah.
privilege to be able to come here because, you know,
Yeah,
there were a lot of moving parts to get us here, and Patty had some things come up with her family, and
Yeah.
you know, I had a trial the previous week and still have tons of work to catch up on, so it's back to real life later tomorrow. So you're leaving tomorrow too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the trial's over, so
Yeah.
there's really no reason to hang around Tallahassee. They were pretty firm with cuffing Donna. Yeah, that's what they should do.
Yeah, they snapped that clinking noise, and she kind of yelled out then too when they did it.
So were you just sitting in the courtroom the whole time, or did you get up and move around and go outside?
Oh, I didn't go outside, but I basically was kind of just that entire floor has a bunch of different wings, and I was kind of walking most of the ladies were all sitting in the hallway and chatting and all, and I don't know how to answer my pants and my feet hurt, and I wanted to get up and move around, and then ended up doing that courthouse tour for my grandchildren and interviewing Vince, and then I think I went and got a Coke, which I'm trying not to drink Coke, but I needed the energy, so
What? You were interviewing someone?
Oh, just the butterfly guy.
Oh, the butterfly.
It was
You said
not
Vince.
even
You
an
mean
interview.
Dave.
It
Dave.
wasn't even an
You were
interview. I really
discussing
just
it.
asked him,
Yeah.
"Could you talk a little bit about what you do?" And you could say hi to my grandchildren. And he did. He called him. It was so cool.
Oh, that's really
He's a nice guy. I like him.
That's what's kind of fun about being here in person. Like you meet so many friendly people who are so
Yes.
happy to talk about the case.
Yeah.
Just like that woman from Raleigh that happened to sit next to me this morning. Her name is Kat, and she says she's willing to be on the channel next week.
Where is she from?
She's from right near me, North Carolina. She flew all the way here just like I did. And she said, I don't have any friends to talk to about the case. And let's meet up. And I was like, sure, you know, because this is kind of like a niche community of people who somehow, you know, became drawn to Dan Markel's case.
It's like a niche. I briefly spoke with Phil and Shelley today, and that was nice because I had emailed Ruth a couple weeks ago. I had a few things I wanted to share with her, and then I told her about these spoon necklaces, and I said I want to give one for you and Shelley.
Yeah.
Okay, once I got there, I thought this is like a frivolous thing, and this is serious. They killed his son, and she had said, please come up and say hi to me while you're there. And normally when they're in court mode, they don't want anybody, you know, leave them alone and respect them. But she said I could come up and say hi to her. But, you know, once I was there and she was wearing sunglasses because she had injured herself. And and she's older. And I just, you know, and then I started worrying these spoon necklaces are going to they're going to think we're too laughy when we laugh and joke, but we all take this very serious and feel horrible about all these people that have been hurt beyond Dan. But so then later someone named Georgia Peach, she's really nice. She's she's a little pistol. I like her. She told me, you know, I think Ruth and Shelley want one of those necklaces. And I'm like, funny you should say that. I just told Ruth I was going to give her one. And now I feel it's too frivolous. Oh, no, you want me to do it? And I'm like, well, and then I saw Shelley, and I don't want to intrude on any of them, but I felt a little bit better with someone younger than the elderly. But Phil was standing there. So I explained to her about the spoons and Donna making the big stink and the whole thing that, you know, I did tell your mom about this in an email. And is it all right if I just give you these necklaces and you can give it to her? And then Phil said, that's really very nice of you. Like, he was just so kind. Like, he acknowledged me when, you know, it's like a silly thing I did, but I can't even explain why I did it. But a lot of people really liked him and they appreciated him. And SDS wanted one for his daughter, and I didn't have any left. In fact, to give the Markels each one, Shelley and Ruth, I gave them the ones I had for Georgia and Sarah, but I was sitting next to Georgia's mother. So I gave her the card. I had brought a card. It just was like a thank you card. It had a cow on it, and it said muchas gracias.
Oh.
And I just said, I want to thank you for being such awesome prosecutors and for prosecuting this Adelson case that we care so much about, and blah, blah, blah. I just said a couple of things. And then I said, I want to give you each one of these necklaces. It's just a standing joke. We like to poke fun at Donna and then screaming about this. So he took my spoon. So I told George's mother, I'm going to go home and make 2 more and mail them to them. Because in my thank you note, it mentions those necklaces and there's no necklaces in there.
Yeah.
So hopefully George's mother remembers to tell her, oh, she gave them to the Markels.
Yeah.
Oh, and then SCS, I gave them my own necklace.
Aww.
But I actually waited till Georgia was done with her closing because
Yeah.
I know it's stupid, but in my mind, I just felt like it was a lucky thing. And all these spoons were in the courtroom. People were wearing, and I just felt it was lucky. And I also had worn my lucky bracelet. And after Georgia did her closing, I went and I took it off and gave it to Steve Cohen to give to Joel.
Oh.
I met Carl's wife, Leslie. She's a really nice, lovely person. I wish I would have had one to give her. So
yeah. So was Billy still, or
the
person who made the bracelet? Okay.
Sorry,
okay.
sorry, guys.
Sorry. Privacy issues. So what's this opinion that you have? Do you think they'll follow through with going after Wendy?
I would say yes. I think yes, from the signs today, from what was said, the little hints. And also you'll notice at Charlie's trial, she threw out a lot about Donna, and now at Donna's trial, she's saying a lot about Wendy. It's kind of like, it just follows. It follows. And she's already been an
unindicted co-conspirator.
Right.
Unindicted named by the state.
She's already been named by that. And so is Donna, and look where she is now. Mm-hmm. She's gone from the elitist high rise where A-Rod lives to prison. Yeah. Prison is way worse than jail. It's way worse. So, and did I tell you? Oh yeah, I already told you. I just can't get over that Phil giving those looks, and like, boy, do they deserve more, but
yeah. I mean, I can't imagine how stressful it's been on Dan's parents to have to sit there, and Shelley too, the sister, having to walk by Harvey repeatedly and resist the urge to throttle him, to punch them or strangle them or something. I mean, I don't think I could stand it, because this whole time they have to be in the same room with Harvey and Donna like that. Yeah. So here's the question people want to know. Since you used to work for Harvey back in the mid-'80s, did Harvey recognize you?
I never really made eye contact with him. Time when I left the courtroom right in front of him, I faked playing with my hair. I didn't want to. And I was telling Judy this earlier, I'm a compassionate person. So after I said hi to him, I would probably say, really sorry you're going through all this, but you shouldn't kill people. You should, and I had nothing I could say to him. So it was pointless. So I should tell them the
shoot
Walker story. Yeah. Okay. So one of the witnesses, I'm very bad with names, but Mr. Cumberbunders, and there was a witness who came in on a walker. Was he the financial guru?
He was Rick Chagrin. Yeah, the so-called guy that helped them with technology to get the Vietnam plane tickets.
He came in and he testified, and then when we broke for lunch, I think, we were leaving the courtroom outside, going down the steps outside, and I found myself like right behind him. So then I looked down and he had a shoe untied, and he's got a walker, and the laces are dragging under his shoe. And being a retired nurse, there's like a really big thing you look out for elderly. And I do for myself now, because I'm elderly, and it's a fall risk. That was a fall risk. So I just tapped him on the shoulder and I said, oh, could I please tie your shoe for you? Because that's a fall risk. Your shoe's untied. It's dragging under your shoe. And he was like, and he was with a woman. I don't know if that was his wife or partner or whatever, but she was also elderly. I mean, I know I'm older, but I mean, these guys are older than me.
Yeah, it's probably his wife, Susan.
To bend down. So I bent down, set my purse down, and I tied his shoe. And he said, oh, you must be a teacher. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm a retired nurse, so it's a fall risk thing. And he's like, thank you. Okay, then we went to Metro Deli, and I devised my devious plan. When I came back to court and walked in, he's sitting right there next to Harvey. And he knows I tried to shoot you. So as I walk by, I slow down and I look right, like kind of in his face, lean, and I go, hi. And then I don't say a word to Harvey. I was hoping Harvey would recognize me and say to him, oh, that's that awful hygiene. And then he said, that's that nice lady who tied my shoe.
Oh,
okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
That's weird, but I'm weird.
So kind that she tied Harvey's friend's shoe for him. The poor guy with Walker, right? Yeah, at least he looked sort of disgusted when Georgia cross-examined him and said, you know, would a typical Jewish grandmother be talking about dressing up kids in Hitler Youth uniforms? Yeah. Thank you, Harley. Thank you for your support. I'm so sorry you didn't get to make it to trial.
Get to meet him. I wanted to meet him.
Yeah, we'll be back for Wendy's trial. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, thank you, Potter64. Really appreciate all your support and kind words all these years. So, all this misery because of Wendy, yes. Oh, so Patty answered this. How loud was Donna's "Oh my God" after the verdict was read? Could you hear it?
I only heard it was like a
yell.
It was like this. It was like a. I don't think it was a shriek. It was this yell, and then like sobbing. But there were never any tears. But she's sobbing, and I later came back to the room and saw it on YouTube so I could see it from the front, and that's when I heard her say, screamed and said, "Oh my God!" Yeah, she was saying, "Oh my God!" Yeah.
But what was Harvey was just sitting still.
Harvey was really stoic. I saw him from the side. Now, when I looked at him from the front, he was really looking down and really scowling.
He probably knew that she was going to get convicted, so he had already rehearsed it in his mind, like how he's going to act or something.
Yeah.
But I bet you tonight he'll be on the floor banging with his fists and crying again. Yeah, look at this.
Or
worse.
You know,
yeah, Dan is beating the Adelson family. Remember how she said Jibbers hasn't beaten the Adelson family yet? Yeah.
Oh.
So let me see if there are any quick questions. Yeah. Everyone knew that if Donna was convicted, Wendy would be on an indicted co-conspirator. Now Donna is a triple convict. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Oh, we should show him this bracelet. One of Judy's mods' name is Chewy Boy, and Chewy Boy makes these bracelets. Wait, can you see it? And these are like pieces of paper that are strips of paper that are rolled up tightly, and then they're like sealed somehow. We used to sell these as a fundraiser in the Honor Society in college, and we got them from some village in Africa where they make this. So I thought, oh, she got them from Africa. She made these herself. Like, I don't know how she rolled that paper, but that was so sweet of her. So
beautiful.
she made one for
Thank
me
you.
and one for
Thank you so
one for
much.
you.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you,
gorgeous.
Chewy Boy.
I will definitely wear this tomorrow. Thank you, Chewy Boy. She's also a mod on this channel. So yeah, hey, Life 3030. Please check out this person's channel. Also, this is a great day. I mean, there are a couple of times where tears popped into my eyes as I was going towards the courthouse. I was like, oh my God, you know, I know she's going to be found guilty because it happened so quickly. Yeah. What a day.
I hated Fulford's closing because it just seemed like she was trying to confuse the jury. I'm sure she was, and she just get one, right?
Distracting and pointing at
I'm
things.
just looking, and some of the stuff I think she said wasn't even true. It was just, it was.
And she pointed to things that actually made Donna look more guilty by highlighting them right before the jury is going to deliberate. You know, like, look at the bump video. Hey, let's listen to that stupid phone call between Sammy and Donna back after the bump from May 2016. I'm like, yeah, this is great, you know, because she's reinforcing the bad evidence against her. And then she started bashing Rob Adelson a couple of times and, bashing the jailhouse snitches.
Oh, she said Rob Adelson had a axe to grind. That's right.
Yeah.
And he's like, in Georgia,
he's estranged from the family. He has an axe to grind. And he just packed up his family and his wife and kids, and they left the day after Harvey's birthday or his father's birthday. I was like, I wonder why, I wonder. It's too bad Rob couldn't talk about how his mother interfered with the relationship between his current wife.
There's so much this jury doesn't know. He doesn't know about the Adelsons shutting out the Markels for 6 years. And even after the 6 years, very brief, controlled, choreographed visits that all go through Wendy. He can't send an email to his own grandsons that are teenagers. He can't call them on the phone. He has to go through Wendy. They have to go through Wendy for everything.
Is that what he said at the press conference?
Yep.
Oh,
yep.
Okay. I kind of
Mona, yes, Harvey stayed till the bitter end. In fact, I think he came out of the courtroom after I did, because I know when I walked by, he was still sitting there. But Donna was already gone, and he just sat there, I guess, maybe in shock. But yeah, they got those and she never turned and looked back at him either. She just was escorted right down and out the door, and I saw her barely as the door was cut. Last time, I think you could see Charlie being fingerprinted back in that little alcove where they do sidebars. I thought I saw him getting fingerprinted, but they didn't do that. She just was whisked right out and she's gone. And the judge did say, well, you probably know that part, but he said something like, call the jail ahead of time. Fulford and Zellman is because their Adelsons are running low on money and they couldn't afford anybody else.
Really?
And Zellman is not a very good attorney, so his fee was. And Jackie's a disgraced judge, and they're saying that
she's running a funeral home. She barely practices law.
And look, attorneys didn't want the case because they knew how much work was involved and how much all the all the data, all the stuff that would be involved. And so, of course, they're asking a high price. Adelson's didn't have it or didn't want to pay it. But I there was something said about $3 million, like he had been down to $3 million.
How could he be down to $3 million?
Well, I don't think he ever sold his condo. And isn't that worth like $1 million or something? Or do they rent?
They were renting.
Oh, they
renting it. But they sold. Oh, Charlie.
Yeah.
Granted, that is Charlie's money, right? But Charlie's 2 houses sold in the last year or two.
Yeah.
And
they have rental properties, right?
Tons of rental units. People said it was sort of like lower middle class, not really fancy luxury apartments, but sort of so-so quality apartments. They had about 40 units, maybe more than 40 units. And get this, I've reported this already, but Harvey has recently sued Alex Berkovich, who is a former friend and business partner of Charlie's. So I need to check the docket because the last time I saw it, there was a motion to dismiss filed by Alex's attorney. So Harvey sued as power of attorney for Charlie because Charlie was business partners with this friend, and they owned some sort of rental property together. And Harvey was alleging that Alex had usurped control of the property and wasn't giving any sort of financial accounting to them, and probably, spending money or, I don't know, taking money that he shouldn't be entitled to, sort of like the way Charlie sued Ryan Fitzpatrick and alleged him of stealing money from the company that they had. So that just got filed, I think, in late July. Not sure what's going on yet. Yeah. So anyway, so that's just a guess. I would be surprised if he only had $3 million. I'm sure he has more stocks, tons of stocks.
The defense tried to justify the trip to Vietnam by saying Donna had become suicidal. And then she did have that phone call where she had been overheard saying, we're either going to have a suicide pact with Harvey or, find a non-extradition country. Oh, I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. I'm like,
Yeah, about how the defense
Okay.
tried to brush off the
no, there
fact
was
that
something
she
I
was
gonna
trying
say.
to escape to Vietnam.
Oh yeah, this is what I wanted to say. I'm like very into parenting and being a good parent. And if you're a parent and you have a child convicted for life, yes, that could be devastating. But you have other children and other grandchildren. You do not have the luxury to kill yourself. That's not an option. You still have other people who depend on you. If you're a good mother and a good grandmother, that's off the table to take that as, you know, but yeah. So
Oh, okay.
I don't think she was suicide. I don't think she was.
Yeah.
I think Harvey is now.
Yeah.
I think I just
Okay,
said the
thank you,
S
Jen.
word again.
What?
Sorry.
Oh, okay. Unalive. You can't say the S word.
I
on
don't want to get
YouTube.
Judy in trouble.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for your commentary. Use this for our coffee club. Thank you so much.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice of you, Brooke.
Let's have
Thank you.
a nice brunch tomorrow. We'll sleep in
Okay.
and have a good
Oh,
brunch
sounds
somewhere.
really
Yeah,
nice.
sure. Because you know what? Last night, Patty and I were driving around sort of lost. Well, she was driving.
Yeah.
And we don't know Tallahassee. So after we saw Dan Markel's old house and we sort of saw Winthrop Park and the
Yeah.
APC liquor store and Webster and Baptiste, the Whole Foods. And then we're like, well, we got to find dinner somewhere. And we're like driving and driving. It's like, where are the restaurants around here? We don't see anything besides some rundown burger shack and red eye coffee.
Yeah.
Turned out not to have any real dinner food.
And at one point I pulled over on a side street because I was having trouble with my GPS was on walk mode and I was trying to get it switched back to car mode. And Judy had her window down, but she's looking at me and all of a sudden we hear a male voice in the window.
Like,
And
hello,
we
what
thought
are
it was
you
like
doing?
a panhandler.
Yeah, I thought it was some
turned out-
homeless person at
Yeah.
first. I was like, oh, we
It
gotta get out of
startled me,
here.
and it was a cop on a bicycle. It just really nice. Just say, "Are you okay? I saw your car was stopped." That was sweet.
Yeah, so he was so nice. The people of Tallahassee have been really kind people. So that's just mean of how Wendy was,
Yeah.
you know, making fun of them in her book, you know, thinly disguising it as Hiawassee Springs, but making fun of people saying they look like
Yeah.
they came out of the 80s. And I thought I was going to hear somebody holding a boombox that was playing Billie Jean any moment with their bouffant out-of-date hairdos and out-of-date clothes. Yeah. So anyway, today during lunch when I was doing that impromptu live stream when Katie Bogenschutz wasn't able to join me and help me out.
Yeah.
So this lady who sort of looked like Katie from afar, she just suddenly popped out of nowhere and she was like, hey, I was like, hi, who's this lady? And she was like, hi, I'm whatever. I think her name was like Shana or something.
Oh.
But she finally told me, she was like, oh, I watch your channel. And I was like, really? I can't believe it, because she works in the courthouse doing something. I forgot what she said she did, but her office is in the courthouse. And she was just so friendly and stuff. So, but I was kind of like totally caught off guard because I was stressed out thinking like, great, I'm gonna have to live stream from this weird part of the building. There's no privacy. And I was hoping Katie was showing up and stuff, but that was just so cool that this, you know, random stranger was so friendly and she actually watches the channel. You know, that's just kind of surprising. But
another thing
so
about
nice.
Tallahassee, and I'm sorry I can't rattle off the numbers because I did this research quite a while ago, but when Charlie was trying to, when they were making fun of Tallahassee, it's this hick town, and I did a little research. I started looking up universities and things that are available. Like, I knew it was a real university town. They have, I wish I could remember the numbers, but I think they have the most schools that offer graduate degrees, like masters and doctorates. They have more of those in that area than anywhere in Florida. They're actually highly educated. You know, this is not a hick town. It's hilly. It looks more like Georgia than flat Florida, but which actually makes it beautiful. It's green and lush. It's like brown and dried up where I live and flat, but yeah, it's really pretty, and it's so unfair to say these people are hicks. I think everybody knows about FSU, but I think they also have Florida A&M University. I'm not sure why. I always thought that meant agricultural or something, and I thought it was just about that. It's not. They have all kinds of grad school degrees. it's impressive. So the Adelsons are crazy. They're just,
Yeah, they just thought that being in South Florida was the best thing in the world,
Yeah.
and everybody
they're
else
just
was
snotty and
terrible.
arrogant and
Yeah, just like their friends.
superior.
Their friends did not help Donna look good. The friends just seemed like a bunch of super rich, out of touch, snotty people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't believe the testimony that Donna called her crying and hysterical. They couldn't find the phone record. Oh, it must have been WhatsApp. WhatsApp didn't do voice call. Oh,
Yeah.
it must have been
Viber.
Viber.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
She
it
was just such a doofus.
Yeah.
She didn't help Donna's cause.
I think the jury knew it too. I thought these were just people to try to prop up the case for the Adelsons because there wasn't anything else.
Yeah. Patty, did you notice Donna? I saw her on the live stream where she turned her head and seemed to say a few words to someone behind her. So I think she was talking to Harvey. Or trying to.
At what point?
Like right after she was found guilty.
I didn't. She might have, and I missed it, but I didn't see it. I just saw her yell out, and then I didn't hear the oh my god till I saw the video from the front. But we just saw her. You could hear her sobbing. Then the judge cleared the courtroom of the jury, admonished her. Then she was quieter. But the whole time she's quieter, you could just see like her shoulders like shivering, like she's just shaking,
like having
like
a meltdown.
She's in shock.
Yeah.
And then they stood her up and she turned and it clank, like it was. But
wow.
And you're saying she looked up to Harvey, so yeah, she probably
because
she would. I just didn't see it.
Yeah, I noticed she turned around and said something on when I was watching on my cell phone.
I missed it, but I was looking at the Markels and the jury, like I was looking everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ruth said something like their visits and correspondence were all choreographed and controlled very strictly.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Even in her book, she said that there was one time Wendy contacted her out of the blue and said that she could have, exchanges of pre-recorded videos with the kids. I was like, well, how generous of you. But she also wanted to make sure that Ruth gave some sort of public statement to everybody saying that, they shouldn't be bashing her or suspecting her, something to that effect.
Yeah.
So of course it was all just like, self-serving to make sure that Wendy looked good in the public eye. Yeah.
Well, I really like the impact statement by Ruth Markel because she wasn't mean, she wasn't vicious, but she was really firm. And she very firmly was saying, she hurt these people, like she's going down the list of all the damage Donna has done. And Donna, the whole time is like shaking her head no. And
mm-hmm. Yeah, she was having a big meltdown. I feel like rewatching it all. Plus, I went and watched a press conference too. Yeah. So tell me more of the press conference. Could you hear?
The press conference was kind of broken up into two. Right outside the courtroom, when Ruth came out and her family, everybody's like, "Oh, do we want to do it here?" And everybody with their cameras and running to the front. And I was like behind two really tall guys. I could barely see her if I stood on my tiptoes. And like right now, my feet hurt so bad from all that standing on the ball of my foot. But I couldn't have gotten up high enough to take a video. But yeah, we talked to the family there, and Ruth and Phil. No, I think it was mainly Ruth who spoke. No, Phil did too. I'm sorry. Then we moved to another corridor on the third floor where if you go through it, I think that is probably the prosecution's office. It looks like where they, and so everybody went over there, and it wasn't like after Charlie where she was more towards that open circle. Like there was a lot more room. We were squashed into this tiny space. A few people got all the way in of the podcasters and STS and Patty Wilson and I didn't know all of them. Carl was right next to me, but he's like 6'6" or something, and he's really holding his. It was kind of cool because he was doing, as we're waiting for Georgia to come out, and we're all standing there ready. he's videotaping and he's giving commentary, so, but in a low voice, so I could hear it. So it's kind of cool, like, so all this stuff. And then she came out and everybody erupted in applause. And then when she was done taking questions, we all started laughing again.
Yeah,
We just love her.
Thank you for being here.
I love Katie.
Later, she is so busy. She was too busy with her own court cases to join me today. But wow, what a day. Thanks so much, Katie, for always coming on and talking to us about criminal law and how things are done. Oh, and look who's here. Hi. Hello. How are you?
Can you hear me, guys?
Yes.
Hey.
Yeah,
Here, you sit down and we'll trade.
Okay. Yeah, the audio sounds kind of bad though. Where are you?
Get water.
Hold on. Do you hear me from my
Yeah, I can
phone?
hear you. Yes.
All right.
Yeah. Where are you? That looks like what, some wine bar or something?
I wish. I'm just upstairs. I'm in my apartment.
Oh,
Apartment building.
okay. Okay. Well, there's like tons of echo and stuff, but how are you feeling?
You hear tons of echo?
Yes, tons of echo. It's like you're talking through a metal tube or something. So.
Sorry, I got a big place.
Okay, with no carpet to absorb the echoes and stuff. Okay, so how are you feeling? Tell us about your reaction.
I cried too. I won't necessarily admit that on the other manly channels, but it was emotional. I cried when I saw Ruth Markel give her little speech, which we heard before. There's nothing new in it, but it was emotional.
Yeah, after all these years, finally this evil Donna Adelson has to serve some time, well, the rest of her life, for what she did to Dan Markel. Yeah, it just shows how selfish she is. The grandkids are teenagers now, and she doesn't even communicate with them as far as I know. And usually teenagers don't really want to hang out with their grandparents that much or their parents. So was it worth it, Donna? Just to control little kids.
For a narcissist, in the moment, everything is about control or being slighted. When they're slighted, they will do anything to discard you. The problem was they couldn't discard Dan Markel. And the issue was they had a son who was willing to take care of it in an irrational way for his mother.
Yeah. Yeah. I think in the victim impact statements, both the Markels mentioned Charlie and how, Charlie was like this evil instrument of Donna's. In fact, I think it was Phil Markel that mentioned Charlie and how Donna basically used her son to do this evil. So, now.
Fundamentally, a narcissist did do that. The goal of a parent is to not put your child into this situation. And if you ever go back and study narcissism and the relationship between a narcissistic parent and a supply child, you will not be surprised at this outcome.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this question about did Charlie hear the verdict? Well, Charlie, as far as I know, he's still in the Leon County jail. But I'm sure somebody will tell him, like some attorney, Harvey can call him. Yeah, I'm sure Charlie will hear from Harvey. Probably already by now.
Charlie will find out.
I was watching Patty. You came on the screen and I saw you shaking, and then I started to shake because I get emotional during these things. I mean, it's like if it's your life and it's part of it. Obviously, we're not in it in this actual war, but we understand what it's about. And I think good attorneys will cry for their clients if you're totally invested into the case. But I saw Patty shaking on the TV.
Oh gosh, and now I got Charlie horse.
Okay. Do you want to sweat?
You saw me what?
I saw you shaking on the TV. Now, I don't know if you were using Viber or you were just shaking.
What?
I'm not sure what he's talking about.
I don't know.
You shaking in court?
Yeah, you were shaking in court at the end when they're about to give the verdict. So you're right in the middle. You're shaking.
Oh,
Your
yeah,
legs.
you're on the screen. I saw you on the screen sometimes when they showed.
I did kind of start shivering and shaking at one point. I did outside the courtroom too when they said we could go in. I was like, oh my God, I'm nervous. And somebody looked at me and said, why? And I don't know. It's just a lot at stake. And you don't know. You don't know what the jury's gonna do. I did take videos of Harvey for you.
Thank you. Did you get any of him? Did you get any of him clothes? Because I got so many naked. I need some clothes so I can put on YouTube.
Oh darn it! You should have told me that beforehand. I did. All right. You're so bad.
Okay. So Donna was rudely shaking her head during the she was so arrogant till the very end. So I'm glad to hear that Phil Markel shot them some dirty looks.
Sorry, Judy.
Yeah. Okay, Dan's birthday, October 9th. That's right.
Don't worry about that. It's not super chat. Hey, Patty, can you confirm exactly what Donna said when she was found guilty?
I heard from the back, I heard a yell like this. Ah! Like Carl called it a shriek. I didn't, it was like a, ah! And then sobbing. You could hear her sobbing. Nobody ever saw any tears. You could hear her sobbing. And then I came back to the hotel and I watched it on YouTube so I could see it from the front. And that's what I could hear. That's when I could hear her also saying, oh my God. I didn't hear that in the court.
Oh my God, she was saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so how long do you think until they grab Wendy? Will she reverse immigrate herself, flee with the kids or without? I don't know. I mean, I kind of feel like maybe the state will arrest her within a couple of weeks because they still need to like get back down to business.
Settle. Yeah, and Georgia said, and I do have other cases.
Yeah.
She said, but this case is in my DNA. Like she'd been working on it for 11 years or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, she was referring to other cases, right? Not just the Markel case.
No, she said that that the Adelson case is in her DNA, is what she said.
But the other cases, they're not related to this case that you were referring to.
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Okay.
I was a little scary though. Like the jury didn't really look at anything. I guess the case was so easy to decide because there were questions in this case. Was there enough proof to show the connection between the murder and Donna? And this wasn't like Charlie or any of the other cases. And they went through it in 2 seconds and they convicted her.
Yeah, it was great because even that attorney, that doubtful older attorney kept saying that, well, is there any evidence of premeditation that she actually did anything about the murder prior to the murder? I think so because of all the circumstantial evidence and the, getting the condo rental for Wendy months before the first attempt on Dan's life and all the vile hatred that she had for him, the total disregard for him as a parent, and all her behavior even after Dan passed away, plus Rob's testimony and the snitches. They all built up to tell the jury that, look, this lady was totally in on it. It's not like how she's portraying it, or her attorneys are trying to brush off and dismiss everything.
Patty, if you were arrested and charged with murder, would you choose Little Raffy or Donna Sue's attorney, the female?
I wouldn't choose either one of them. They're horrible.
No, you have to. You have to choose one.
I have to choose one. I'm going to choose one of these attorneys who both stink, but I felt like they at least tried. They put on a defense. It was crappy, but how many witnesses did they put on like 7 or 8 witnesses? I mean, they tried. They didn't have anything to work with, but at least they tried. In Rashbaum, he puts on one witness who's there to clear Wendy, really. Nothing to do to help Charlie. And then they put Charlie on the stand, which, ooh, what a mistake that was, right?
Yeah, it's true.
And then when I look at all the different pieces of evidence that Donna's attorneys were able to block and keep out, like maybe the Markel Act and keeping the kid, like the grandparent alienation. Like, I don't think they ever said Wendy wouldn't look for 6 years.
Yeah,
like there are certain things that were blocked. So that's why I started worrying, is it enough? But
Yeah.
3-hour Georgia. That's her name.
The bigger they call me 3-minute Vince, but I don't know where they got that from.
Okay.
I'm usually done after a minute, so I don't know what the other 2 minutes are for.
Okay. That's what they didn't know. The nice neighbors are going to check on you if they hear it. That's right. Like people are saying, isn't that great that James Geiger happened to be there and he went to go investigate as soon as he heard the gunshot. And then he noticed that Dan's car was still running inside the garage, and then he went back again. And you know, that's just so great. He's still alive to come and testify too.
Yeah.
That's what bothers me so much about the Karen Reed case, and why I told Judy this morning it's such a simple case, Karen Reed. It happened literally on the front lawn. There's no other way, no other place that the murder happened.
Well, nobody wants to talk about Karen Reed. People are getting all pissed off.
I didn't follow that case.
The point is that they had it so easy in Karen Reed, and we had it so hard here to figure out who actually committed this crime. I mean, we're 11 years in. They had it in a very small space with 10 possible suspects that they knew right from the start. When the cops that I saw roll in today, and actually that gave me the chills, when Judy's boyfriend, what's his name, Sexy Sanford, rolled in with the rest of the cops today, I felt proud seeing them there to finish this case through. Did you girls see him roll?
Yep. I saw him. I saw him.
I was so excited. I was like, it's Sanford in the flesh.
He's very handsome.
Judy was excited.
Yes, I was excited. I was like getting giddy over there. Yeah, so I saw him, but he's actually he seems a little smaller in person than I envisioned him.
Yeah, don't all guys.
I knew you'd make a joke about that. But as soon as I saw him coming, I was like, oh, it's Pat Sanford, but he seems skinnier and not as big and bulky as I had envisioned him when I saw him.
Wait, but where did you see him coming?
Because I was sitting there inside the courtroom and he was coming down the aisle to my right, and then
that's a lot of gum.
Down.
Did he sit by you?
Huh?
Did he sit by
he
you?
sat behind me.
Oh.
Yeah. What? Did you just make some crude remark and I missed it? Okay.
You said he was coming down the aisle. I mean, I said that's a lot.
Okay. I think people are going to leave, okay?
Oh, yeah. Everyone's going to leave. Oh, get this, Patty. Some guy, Steve Cohen, goes up to Judy and says, you better stay away from that Vince the lawyer. He said comments about blacks, and I had no clue what he said. So
he didn't really say it that way. He didn't
really. Katie, her former prosecutor husband, and I both spot when the judge. Oh, yep. I know this was probably not.
Yeah, really.
Yeah,
it's not the verdict you were hoping.
Is that the understatement of the year? Judge Everett is just so. He's just so, I don't know, refined and.
Yeah, he did great. He was a great judge.
A little bit elegant, but not in a snobby way. I like him. I just want to go up there and just chubby cheeks.
We know why you want to do that.
No.
Yeah. Well, let me just sell my channel here, but I hope people noticed that I was wearing a red suit in the Wheel of Fortune parody skit because I was pretending to be Georgia Cappleman. And the funny thing is that, I couldn't get back into a courtroom to record myself because a lot of times now they lock the courtrooms at the courthouse where I practice. So I happen to have a bed where the headboard sort of looks like the wooden background of a courtroom. So I was kneeling on the bed wearing this red Georgia Cappleman suit when I was saying stuff like, the name you called your ex-husband, do you want to solve the puzzle? And then then I'm dressed up in Wendy's gray North Korean uniform and acting like she doesn't know how to spell gibbers and stuff. So that's on my channel under comedy.
Don't you guys have children or grown children, you really love them? Could you imagine encouraging one of your kids to commit a risky crime? Donna encouraged Charlie to do this.
I would never do that.
You have to understand you're dealing with a narcissist. Don't ever try and rationalize what they did. You have to study narcissism, and it will make all perfect sense to you.
So much about it, Vince. Have you had experience with someone and had to look into it and learn? And
I had a family member who couldn't apologize. and I didn't know what narcissism was. And she harmed mentally someone in my life, couldn't apologize, and I had to look it up. And we didn't have ChatGPT back then. So I looked it up, and then I just started, and then everything makes sense. Once you identify a narcissist, then your life is a lot easier. And those of you out there, I know you have these people in your lives, and you may have done the research. It makes your life a hell of a lot easier once you identify a narcissist. Charlie never did. You know, Charlie was you're dealing with a mother who's a narcissist. You see the destruction, what a mother can do, especially if she's a narcissist here. So I don't like to throw around that term, by the way. A lot of people say, oh, he's a narcissist.
Yes.
Because we all exhibit the qualities of narcissism. We all do. We classify people with narcissistic personality disorder when they're off a certain chart.
Now, you guys see if you can just lighten up a little on your expectations of too much crude comedy or whatever. He has a lot of pearls of wisdom. He has a lot to share that's valuable. So,
yeah, I have a lot of pearl necklaces of wisdom, and these girls should understand that.
Yeah, we know you like pearl necklaces.
Do you?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. The funny thing is, this is what I love about you two. You two yell at me. Now, not everyone knows what a pearl necklace is. Both you two understood exactly the joke the second I said it.
Pearl necklace. I know it because
I don't know.
I used to.
Okay.
I used to watch, it's not because I had pearl necklaces, but it's because I used to watch Mind of Mencia, you know, Carlos Mencia, the comedian. And so Carlos Mencia would always make these jokes like, I remembered the last time I gave you a pearl necklace.
See? She knew.
I don't know.
Okay, you guys look it up, okay? Because there's apparently another
idea. I'm not going to whisper it to Judy because that would be rude to y'all, but I have an idea what it is.
What? Okay, we'll discuss it later.
I don't think I should say it. I think it's
so cool.
In the Karen Reed case, the term bukkake came out because one of the witnesses said bukkake, Officer Bukkake. Now, do either of you girls know that?
Yes, I know.
I don't.
Well, obviously, you're Asian. Patty, you don't know?
Okay,
that sounds Asian.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I think it's a Japanese word.
Let's not go down that route. Let's talk more about this case and Donna Adelson. So I do want to hear what?
Me? I love when I usually don't like victim impact statements, and you know I hate when people read in public. I don't care if you're giving a victim impact statement or not. You know this story, Mrs. Markel. She pitched her book nicely, but then I got very emotional when she was speaking because she speaks really well. She doesn't need to read. And the father said the Jewish term that people use to wish people 120 years of life. And most cultures have some sort of a toast. And that's what the Jews do. They wish you 120 years. I never knew really what it meant.
Now I get it. Yeah, why you said that.
But to live, I wish you to live 120 years. And then he did it in a passive-aggressive sense. How great was that? And then he turned to Donna.
Yeah.
I hope, exactly. And that was nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
Okay. Oh, Vince, you are wearing a wife beater shirt? I don't think so. Isn't it wife beater?
No, I don't wear that. It's a workout
Vince,
shirt.
can I tell you that sort of looks like what you'd see some guy wearing at a gay club. I mean that insult because I love gay people. I mean it's great that you're coming out to us. So
I did just get back from the Rusty Nail. I don't know if it's or the Blue Oyster was called. I don't know if that's a gay club or not, but I just happen to be wearing this from the gym.
Yeah, and getting lots of hoots and hollers, right? The 80s called. They want Vince's shirt back. That does sort of look like something from the 80s.
80s?
Also. Like Wham. I don't know.
Look, he can show off his muscles. He kind of looks a little bit buff there. Okay. I'm the opposite. I had to put the shirt on because I didn't want anybody to see my fat arms.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I noticed, Patty, in the gym, like all the women, they're younger in my gym, but they all have this sweatsuit, whatever they got on their pants, but they have that extra pull-up so that they hide it squishes in their stomach. It's like, what is this? I don't have that. I need that.
I think I'm getting like a little crush on you, Vince, but there's like a problem. Like, could you like lay out in the sun more and get a little tan, like get a little more melanin? Because you're so pale.
Tell Vince about what you said to your husband when you first met him.
Oh, okay. Well, I knew his sister only a little bit. She went to the same gym I went to. I was a swimmer. I swam laps every night after work. And the indoor pool is right next to a hot tub. And so one day I'm swimming laps and I hear his sister call me. I didn't even really know her name at that time, but she knew me and she must have remembered we were both from the same state. And so she said, her brother was there as a guest. So she said, hey, Diego, come meet this lady. She's from Ohio too. And so he came over to the side of the jacuzzi and I'm at the side of the pool and he stands up and he's a giant. And I said to him, oh my God, how tall are you? You must be a basketball player. What a stupid thing. Like, that's like saying, how's the weather up there? It's so cliche. And of course, as soon as I said that, he went, well, no. I was so embarrassed.
And you're disappointed because you thought he was a basketball player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is that why you brought that up?
Okay. Yeah. Well.
Yeah, I do that too. It's okay. You put your foot in the mouth type thing. Yeah, obviously, if you see a black guy over 6'6", he should be a basketball player.
Okay. Let's not get on some
can't say that.
stereotypes.
Yeah. Stephen Cohen's like, Vince was making fun of black guys, but Judy, you should stay. Vince is the bad boy.
Yeah, you're not. Okay.
Hopefully
Steve got
6'4". I said he was.
I'm tomorrow I have an attorney filing a petition against this guy. I don't know if you're going to know this guy, Carl, that I showed you before.
He rolled in with that can of Coke. That is against court rules for so many reasons. It's dangerous. He can use it as a weapon. Girls, how is that guy Carl allowed to get in with a Coke?
Yeah, I guess nobody was paying close attention to him.
That's what we call white privilege, Judy.
That's what I was about to say, but I didn't want to offend people. So
I'll offend those white people. White privilege by Carl.
Yeah. Okay, so here's a question for you. Don't you think Charlie was narcissistic too? Totally. He was always talking about himself. Huh?
You have to be very careful when you classify someone as a narcissist, because I've studied them in their natural habitat, 2 of them. Generally, if your mom's a narcissist, you're not going to be one because you have to be a supply. Narcissists only keep supplies and gods around them. That includes kids, husbands, everyone. There are very few gods to a narcissist, so they keep supplies around. Look at Harvey. He's a beautiful supply. Look at someone else's father-in-law. He's a beautiful supply in my life. But Charlie was the perfect supply to his mom. And remember that when you're a man and a boy, you want to please your parents, and that relationship never stopped because a narcissist always needs that constant supply of telling her she's right and you can never disagree with her.
But he also seemed very selfish. You know how he treated his girlfriends and was so obnoxious and full of himself. And even Ryan Fitzpatrick said it was always about Charlie. All he would do is talk about himself and complain about his own problems. He would never ask the other person how they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, a lot comes from it. It's funny, Judy. Everyone thinks Howard Stern's this crude guy. His mom was a Jewish narcissist. So stereotypical, but a narcissist nonetheless. You're not a narcissist because you're Jewish. You're a narcissist because of your childhood and what occurred in your life. So you always have to remember that when you're dealing with these types of people. They didn't choose to be one. Donna didn't choose to be one.
Are you serious? But don't you think Donna could have known better? I mean, sometimes people do choose their own behavior. You can't just blame it on your parents.
Yeah, unfortunately, though, something in her childhood, most likely she felt that she was not loved by a parent, or she felt that a sibling was more loved than her. And this is like the 2 common themes that I see. Or if an parent abandons them at childhood, on some level.
Yeah,
oh, that guy. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
You go.
Phil Markel said something similar to that, and he was talking about I lost my train. He was saying, sorry, it left my head.
He went into narcissism at some point throughout this last 10 years.
What's that you were saying right before that? That's what he said, something about that.
Big black boyfriend that you thought was a basketball player.
Okay. Let's move on. Okay. Well,
Sorry,
Vince, is it okay if I play your latest video? Because so much has been happening, I haven't even had time to watch it, but people said it was really funny. Is that okay?
Yeah, you can. I'm gonna have to cut off here because my battery's about at 2%. So
Okay.
I just wanted to jump on it. And Patty, thank you so much for those videos. Very, very much. That was great.
Sorry,
That was
wasn't better.
awesome. No, like just to see, if you don't know, Patty took videos of Harvey and the Geriatric Jewish Defense League eating lunch. And to me, it was fascinating. I loved it.
Well, they were enjoying the Metro Deli just like everybody here.
It's like, oh, my wife's on for murder, but these Jews, they'll get that lunch in. I see it all the time. They love eating that lunch.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because there's no Chinese food around. So they have to just go to the Metro Deli and try out the pastrami. You know.
I was disappointed in Judy because she didn't get there for the verdict, and that other Asian guy did.
Well, I have to say that's my own fault because I probably should have stayed put and just stayed in the courthouse. But that does stink though, because the cafe closed early, probably at like 2 or 2:30ish. So there's like no food there. So if you're just waiting for the verdict to happen, everybody is there starving to death.
Could someone have opened the door knowing that you were out there and let you in?
I don't think so, because there probably could have been some alarm, you know. I'm not sure how you guys left, but I walked around the whole building.
I remember what I was going to say about Phil Markel. He had made the point towards the end of his talk that Donna, he was like, I just don't understand this cruelty. Donna's an educated woman. He goes, I must not be smart enough to understand this. Where did this come from? That's what he said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Was he educated, the father?
Who? Harvey?
Which father? Phil?
Dan Markel's father.
Oh yes, of course he's well educated. Yeah. So now I can't remember exactly what he did. Some sort of import-export business, because Ruth Markel said that they actually traveled to Taiwan multiple times. They would go to different countries to look. Oh, I think it was a clothing business. Yes.
Did he focus more on the importing or the exporting?
Like importing.
Seinfeld.
What?
Seinfeld.
Oh, okay. See, I guess I'm not that big of a Seinfeld fan.
And you want to be my latex intern.
Yeah, I may not know what the kooky baka and the pearls meant, but I know that import export.
All right, I'm out, girls.
Bye, guys.
I'll be watching.
Thank you. Okay, so all right, he's gone, guys. Okay, hopefully not too many people left because of him.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, so he said it was okay to play his video. So let's just go ahead and do that and call it a night, because boy, I didn't expect to keep talking for 2 hours. But thank you for being here with me to help out. Oh, Katie says she's working on a different murder case. Oh, you're doing AI transcript. Yeah, that sounds like a great way to save time. Yes, totally agree. No, I didn't make it back because, like I said, as soon as I was told by the Patties that there was a verdict, like I had just finished showering and I was wearing comfortable clothes and just getting ready to chill out and do some work. But then I was like, darn it, I guess I should go. And Vince was like, you should go be there in person and take some videos and stuff. So I just threw on some different clothes and ran holding my laptop bag and sweating and stuff. But, you know, of course, all the staff is gone. The doors were all locked. All I could do was to sit around on the bench and watch on my phone, watching Deep Dive True Crime. Yeah, so too bad about that. Okay, so let's just go ahead and share this and have a laugh and call it a night. Yeah. Okay, so it must be this one.
This is the evolution.
Sorry. Then I'm going to have to show this ad. So let me just keep it off the screen. Somebody said they were unsubscribing because I was too cheap to afford YouTube Premium and they hate watching the ads. I was like, okay, bye. You know, like, yeah. I mean, it's just such an extra waste of money
It's
because
just being a little bit frugal.
doing YouTube pays jack. So
Yeah.
it's not worth it. Okay, let's add that and let's take a look at
Jewish grandmother suggests dressing her grandchildren up in Nazi uniforms?
Not to my knowledge.
My babies.
Donna was the ultimate Jewish mother, unlike my wife.
Screwing him financially is what will aggravate him.
Is she aggressive towards others?
This is what this fucker is sending your sister on a regular basis.
Never. Have you ever heard her threaten anyone?
Having her Jewish grandsons baptized.
Never.
Au contraire.
Coming through that door is Donna Adelson's Geriatric Jewish Defense League that's going to save the boss's life. Let's watch.
that's the person who shoot Patty Pie.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you will give today will be the truth?
I do.
You may take your seat.
My name is Richard Chagrin.
Zoran Gutterson.
How do you know my client, Donna Adelson?
I met them 38 years ago. They're best friends. The wife was the president and CEO of a nonprofit. I was chairman of the board.
I know her through her husband, Harvey Adelson, whom I went to high school with. Stuyvesant High School.
Stuyvesant High School is the #1 public high school in the country. The only way you can get in is if you pass one entrance exam. At that time, it was 75% Jewish, and now it's 75% Asian.
At some point, did you grow apart?
Au contraire. This is funny. I was in Florida for Christmas. We get to Florida, Miami. Everything is closed. We're hungry. What do you eat? Chinese food.
Obviously, those of you who have never seen a Jewish person before may not know, but on Christmas and Christmas Eve, all they eat is Chinese food because it's the only place that's open.
So we order Chinese food. I bite into the spare rib. I crack my front tooth. I call a friend of mine who's a dentist in New York.
And right on cue, we see our favorite Asian attorney, Judy, the YouTube Asian lawyer.
Also went to high school with us. And I said to him, who do we know in Florida? I need a dentist. Harvey, I knew from high school. I called him on Christmas. He saw me the next day and we reconnected. He and Donna and Annie and I would travel together and we really bonded. The chemistry was there.
Can you describe their relationship, Donna and Harvey?
Once again?
Can you describe their relationship, Donna?
A very
It looks like Judy's sitting in Harvey's lap.
loving couple.
Were you aware that their son, Charlie, was arrested in this investigation?
Yes.
Donna and Harvey's state of mind, how they were feeling about things.
To put it mildly, extremely upset, off the wall, like most caring parents would be.
Your life partner is Annie Cunningham?
Anne Elizabeth Cunningham. We met when my life partner.
What is with this life partner bullshit? Those of us that are married know the only real benefit is you could say that your wife is your wife and you don't have to use some lame phrase like life partner. If that's your little floozy on the side, just say it.
To Florida, Chinese restaurant. And he bit into a spare rib and cracked his tooth.
With respect to Mrs. Adelson and your observations of her over these, 15 years, have you found her to be a hateful person?
This is what this fucker is sending your sister on a regular basis.
Never.
Is she aggressive towards others?
In this email, she suggests that dressing her Jewish grandchildren up in Hitler Youth uniforms would be acceptable?
Never.
Have you ever heard her threaten anyone?
Having her Jewish grandsons baptized?
Never.
Have you ever seen her harm anyone?
Never.
Have you ever heard her threaten to have somebody harmed?
No.
Obviously, we all know the boss is smart enough not to let this Yenta in on her plan to have her son-in-law murdered.
Screwing him financially is what will aggravate him.
At any time during that period, did she ever say she wanted to have Danny Markel killed?
Never.
At the time that you spoke to Mrs. Adelson, was it the day that Danny was murdered?
When he was shot, yes.
When she called you, did she appear to be upset?
Very.
Very smart by the boss, setting up her alibi. And we know that she did plenty of research on how to act fake and how to act sad when you're in public.
She crying?
Yes.
Did she seem to be at a point in time where she had just learned what had occurred?
Yes.
But you understood that you may be needed to come down.
My
to Florida to
services
do
may
some
be
help.
needed as a friend to assist.
And you were happy to do that, right?
That's what friends are for. That's what friends are for.
When I first met my wife 36 years ago, we formed a gourmet club, and they were part of the gourmet club. And we met probably every 2 to 3 months. And then as the years progressed, we became friendlier and went on a number of vacations with them.
Those of you that are not rich, wealthy Jews in South Florida may not understand what that is. Basically, they form a club and eat at each other's house with someone else doing all the work, all the cooking, and all the preparation.
You say gourmet club.
Gourmet dinners at people's houses.
Were you somewhat savvier than they when it comes to booking travel?
Oh yeah, I've been to 75 countries around the world.
Bragger.
When you sat down to assist with the reservations, what did you discover?
The ironic thing was that the round trip was a fraction more than one way. And I suggested, since you don't know when you're coming back until sometime in January, book a one-way. I said, I'd be willing to bet it's cheaper to fly from Vietnam to the United States than it is from the United States to Vietnam.
This is critical testimony because he's saying that he was the one that told Donna Sue and Harvey to book a one-way flight to Vietnam.
To your knowledge, had the Adelsons been to Vietnam in the past?
Yes.
This one hits. Yeah.
I love this so much.
Whoever wrote this, thank you. Like,
Oh.
truly.
And they found it to be relaxing?
To my knowledge, I was there. I thought it was a great country, great people, great food.
Can you describe the type of mother and grandmother that you observed Donna to be?
This is what this fucker is sending your sister on a regular basis.
Donna was the ultimate Jewish mother, unlike my wife.
Despite putting down his wife, a Jewish mother is someone who's very neurotic, very controlling, and knows every single thing their kids do and is involved in every single aspect of their personal lives.
That was very involved in their children and grandchildren's lives.
The defendant sends Wendy this email, and it contains every date that Dan Markel has been out of town traveling for work since the birth of their first child. That's 4 years. She is able to go back and send to Wendy, he was out of town this date to this date, this date to this date.
Old George is not familiar with the customs of a Jewish mother. I can tell you this. Donna Sue documenting every single time Dan traveled, not from when he was divorced, but from the beginning, is something a typical Jewish mother will do.
I think Donna maybe was a little more involved in her grandchildren because of the situation of grandsons losing their father, Wendy working, and also they live close by, Donna and Harvey in South Beach.
You cannot take credit for being a good grandmother to the grandchildren when you're the one who caused the entire problem by killing their father.
Am I hearing you correctly? You would describe Donna as a typical Jewish grandmother?
And the evidence has shown that this nice, normal, sweet little grandma certainly was angry.
More than typical.
And a typical Jewish mother?
Yes.
At the time that you were assisting them with the travel, had they decided when they were coming back from Vietnam?
They were undecided, other than the fact that they were going to, whether it was prior to the bar mitzvah or just before the bar mitzvah, they didn't know how long they were going to be gone.
But they were coming back for the bar mitzvah?
Oh, definitely. They wouldn't miss it for the world.
They would move heaven and earth to be there for that traditional occasion.
Under normal circumstances, they were going to make every effort to return to attend that bar mitzvah, right?
Yes.
Obviously, normal circumstances would not include a warrant being issued for their arrest for first-degree murder. It would be an abnormal circumstance.
Old Georgia stunned this old Jew and then dropped the mic.
I'm not aware of that.
Might cause them to not
It
come back.
might. You'd have to think twice.
Sure. And in that deposition, weren't you asked, so did you make any of the decisions when to travel or how to travel, or were you just the conduit to the technology? And your answer was the conduit for the technology.
This is very critical. George is referring to the deposition of this old Jew for which she was asking him questions. If you hear that question, it's a compound question. It contains multiple questions within one question, and it's not proper. She failed to properly ascertain whether this old Jew was the one that recommended Vietnam, and she will get better from this because she has to make sure she covers all of her bases in a deposition.
Yes.
But today you're saying you're the one that suggested that they fly one way.
To me, that's part of being the conduit, just suggesting.
You said that Donna Adelson is a typical Jewish grandmother. Does a typical Jewish grandmother suggest dressing her grandchildren up in Nazi uniforms?
Not to my knowledge.
Despite the deposition error, old Georgia comes back with a knockout punch.
No further questions.
And when you were deposed on August 29th of 2024, did Ms. Kappelman ask you if you made any suggestions about a one-way ticket or a round-trip ticket?
I don't remember.
Did Ms. Kappelman ask if you made any decisions?
No.
He was showing the transcript, and it was true. Georgia never followed up on that compound question that she asked. It happens, and sometimes you can get away with that type of situation. However, Georgia was able to come back strong with her old knockout punch.
Well, she asked if you made decisions, but you did not make decisions, did you?
No.
You made suggestions.
Yes.
This old broad testified that she spoke with Donna Sue in 2014 using WhatsApp. However, it was later determined that WhatsApp didn't even have voice communication until 2015, so they had to stop her as she was boarding her flight and bring her back for a little questioning.
I have a question about your use of cell phone service, and we touched briefly on things like WhatsApp, and what was the other one you said you use?
Viber.
Viber? What the hell is that?
Okay, Viber. When you communicated with Mrs. Adelson,
that doesn't sound like a phone app.
Did you routinely use one of those apps?
Quite often, yes.
Which app did you use mostly?
WhatsApp or Viber.
As opposed to picking up and using the cell phone service, you would use those instead?
Yes, Viber.
She later clarified that because cell phones today don't necessarily have the vibrating feature, she would use Viber, and there was no real issue with it.
Viber.
I love this product. I'm 60 years old and it has significantly reduced my wrinkles.
And look what we have here, exclusive footage of Harvey and the rest of the Geriatric Jewish Defense League eating lunch. Let's watch. There's our man, the big faker that rolled into court with his walker. He doesn't seem to have any trouble shoveling in that matzo ball soup.
I've been gone a week. I miss my babies.
Old Harvey looks refreshed and happy dining with the Jerry.
Hey, just to give Patty super props, this was actually recorded by Patty here. Okay, so Vince should have given some credit, just like he didn't give credit to Tanika's 2 cents. Tanika was the one, we all know she's the one who got us the Charlie transport video. So Vince needs to, just be grateful to people who provide the content and at least promote them too. So thanks to Patty N. Are you going to do more YouTube stuff for your channel?
I probably will. I think I will. I can just been in a little bit of a slump. I don't know what, and I don't know, but yeah, I want to get back into it. And I've become fond of so many people in this community that it's kind of.
Okay, so it's Patty N1032.
Yeah.
Okay.
1032.
Okay, so you guys can see the wedding video where Wendy and Charlie are very young on her channel. So since Vince did not give credit to Patty so far, I don't hear anything. So thank you, Patty, for getting this video from the Metro Telly. Yeah, I haven't seen any vegan food. Okay, let's keep playing this and then call it a night. It's so late now.
Geriatric Jewish Defense League. Let's hope old Harvey will have an opportunity to once again dine with the boss after she's found not guilty.
Won! We won! I can't believe it. We actually won.
And despite that smile, old Harvey knows that one rule that I tell you about each and every time we meet. You don't fuck with Donna Adelson.
To get up and dance.
I'd love to, but my feet hurt. Oh.
I heard him say he was going to do it.
Won! We won! I can't believe it. We actually won.
This is Charlie Boy's best Chinese food in town. I could eat this every day.
Don't love that. It's hilarious.
You said it was too expensive?
Okay. All right, so let's just end it here. We've been on for over 2 hours. Gosh, I'm so tired. We're gonna have a nice brunch tomorrow and just chill out until it's time to, I guess, go to airport and pack up and stuff. So thank you guys. What a great day for Justice for Dan. I mean, once again, it's about Dan Markel, who is a wonderful, beloved. He was a beloved law professor. He was a great father. He just wanted to be with his kids and be a real parent to them. And, you know, it's about time that Donna Adelson finally has to, you know,
be accountable.
Yeah, be accountable to her horrible acts and all her years of manipulation and plotting and being a total narcissist and ultimately having something to do with this horrible murder for hire. So yeah, we're not going to Vietnam. No. Okay. And plus I'm not Vietnamese anyway. I don't really.
No, I'm kidding.
Although I did try to learn Vietnamese for some of those comedic skits where, you know, I pretended I was Donna wearing her arrest date outfit and she's learning Vietnamese phrases to get ready for her big trip to Vietnam.
Well, I got to say one thing I did. It was really embarrassing. I went to get my nails done and I had learned a little bit of Chinese and I was so impressed with myself. I could say, shoo shoo, which is thank you.
No, it's yes, yeah.
She was doing my nails and she was done and I was like, shoo shoo. And she didn't even look up at me. And I was like, shoo. And she didn't look up at me. And then her teenager son, who was or could speak English, came over and told me, ma'am, she's Vietnamese.
Yeah, like
I felt so bad. I felt like,
okay, it's all right. You were trying, so that's appreciated. Yeah, I'm Korean, right? Okay, no, actually, my parents are from Taiwan. I don't know if you're joking, but that's funny. Okay, yeah, no relation to Jared Ross, right? Ken Ross. Okay, well, Jared Ross, I haven't seen him on my channel for a while, but he shows up on STS here and there. Yeah. Okay, thank you guys so much. It's been a great day for Justice for Dan.
Absolutely.
Still thinking of the Markels and. You know, I got to watch the press conference too. So that means staying up even later. So I'll be back on Saturday afternoon, 2:30 Eastern time with the awesome comedian, true crime comedian extraordinaire, Kathy from Gossip Rumor Innuendo. So she's going to be a special guest. It's going to be a joint live stream on her channel plus my channel, 2:30 on Saturday. And then sometime next week, Mona will be back to
Oh, and that's funny. I just got a notification that Kathy has a new video out, Gossip, Rumor, and Innuendo. Okay, so a lot of stuff to keep watching. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, TC. TC is actually one of my best friends from college that I still keep in touch with. You know, after all these years, our days back being Asian American activists with the Alliance of Asian Pacific Americans, which I was co-president of. But thank you, TC. It's so great to see you. And you're one of my few real friends in real life who actually watches my YouTube channel. So really appreciate your support. Everybody here is totally awesome. Hope to meet you guys at Wendy's trial.
Wendy's trial?
We'll wait and
Yes.
see, but I'm already thinking like, yeah, I'm definitely coming back. I'm going to reschedule my work stuff and, you know, make sure that I can be back again in Tallahassee. It's a great town. It's definitely a place where I think most people could have a pretty comfortable, nice life here. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Good night, everybody. Patty, you want to say anything? Ending words?
No, just justice for Dan, and we're getting it. And Wendy's
Yes.
next.
Yes. Believe it.
Yeah.
Believe
Believe it.
Okay. Take care. See you guys Saturday.